Hello everybody, Dagmar Bryant, Mindset and Transformational Coach, coming to you today to talk about the fears that we have concerning love. If you have followed my other videos in this series, you will know that this is video number 4 in the series on fears. If you haven't had the chance to check out the other videos, the other ones were about the fear of success, the fear of failure, and the fears that we have around money. There was also a bonus video on fear around change. Let's talk about our fear of love. Love is the most natural thing in the universe. It's what we as a soul really crave. We want to be loved. We want, for the most part, to be in a relationship that is loving, long-term, and secure. And yet, for many people, it's not easy to find. It can be quite elusive. Often, some of the fears around love are these. Have you ever heard of someone say, I don't want to go into a relationship because I fear that I might be rejected? Or if they are in a relationship, they might say, oh no, I'm never going to leave because I'm afraid of being alone. Or how about this one? Even if they know that they're in a relationship that is no good for them, they might say to themselves, oh, I'll just settle for this. There isn't anything better. How many of you have heard people say those kind of things? I know somebody who was very close to me, who was in a marriage, said to me, I'm not going to leave that person because I'm too old, because I'm afraid that I'm going to end up alone. And I felt for that person. It was so sad. I would not want you to find yourself in that position. You shouldn't have to fear being rejected or fear being alone or fear not finding love. I guess I'm a little bit of an idealist. I do believe that there are more than perhaps one people that we can all connect with, and that we have certain lessons to learn with the relationships that we encounter. People have this idea that they will find their soulmate, but in many ways, what is a soulmate? I would say to you, it's not about one soulmate, the loving happily ever after, knight in shining armor ideal. We have many soulmates in this lifetime. The people who are our soulmates are the people that we connect with, and often they are the ones who help us with our lessons that we need to learn. That doesn't necessarily mean that they are going to be with us in a happily ever after situation. Our soulmates help us because we have a connection with them. But like I said, are we meant to be married to them? Are we meant to be there for them forever? Not necessarily. Our soulmates can also be our best friends, a mentor, a teacher, a parent, a sibling. They are all definitions of soulmates because we have a soul connection with them. I know this term of soulmate in a lot of ways gets bandied around without really thinking about what a soulmate is. People automatically think that's the one person that I'm looking for who is my happily ever after. And I'm sorry to blow your bubble, but it doesn't just work that way. However, that doesn't mean that we can't find some person who is going to be really connected to us. Yes, there's always going to be ups and downs, but you really know when you find that person who you have that connection with. It's that feeling of goosebumps. It's the feeling of your hearts, two hearts beating as one. And I believe that there is somebody for everybody. Ask yourself and take a moment now, maybe have a diary or a pen and paper, and just take a few moments for reflection. What are your fears around love? Are they any of the examples that I mentioned earlier? Do they have to do with the fear of rejection? Do they have to do with the fear of being alone? Are you settling because you don't think that you will find anyone better? Ask yourself it very honestly, because that's the only way that you will get honest answers. What are your true feelings around love? Do you even want to have a deeply committed relationship? Let's face it, there's the other end of this argument as well. There are some people who are afraid of love. They are afraid of commitment. They're the ones that I know where their partner comes to me and says, yes, but this other person keeps pulling away. And it's like there's this big void between us. So ask yourself, do you have a fear of commitment, a fear of getting too involved and of then getting hurt? Again, be honest with yourself. Once you have identified your fears, you can work towards helping yourself to get over those fears. Sometimes it does take some counseling and maybe even friends or family who can help you with that. But remember, identifying a problem is the first step in overcoming that. So identify what your concerns are around love, and then put a plan in place in terms of, well, how can you get around this? If you don't know how to meet somebody, there's lots of ways, and you might ask again, family, friends, your work group, you might go on the internet, you might meet someone on social media. There's still lots of ways that you can meet people, and you need to trust your instinct. If something is right about a person, if you know that you're getting those feelings that are coming up where you know that there's that deeper connection, you need to learn to trust that. And from personal experience, I can say to you, don't let distance be a barrier. When I first met Glenn, I definitely had those feelings of connection, and yet I didn't know how it was all going to work. After all, he lived in England and I lived in Australia. That's half a world away. And I can tell you, if we can make a go of it, so can you. I say to you, don't put up barriers around love. Find a way of allowing yourself to truly experience a beautiful love, and tell yourself, I am worthy of love. I deserve love. I deserve the best. Some of you may have had repeated experience around negativity with love, either attracting the same kind of energy, the same kind of person, similar kind of problems. And ask yourself, can you see those patterns? Once you know what you have been attracting, then flip it on its head. Change the mindset around it. Because once you know what you don't want, it brings you steps closer to finding what you do want. See how you go with those action steps. See how you go with changing your mindset on how you can attract the kind of love that you're really looking for. And even if you're in a relationship that perhaps isn't ideal anymore, is there a way that you can resurrect that connection that you had in the first place? And if you can't, then you need to put action steps in place to find a way of getting yourself into a better space. Try those exercises, guys. I really want you to find happiness, love, and fulfillment. Let me know how you go. Remember, comment, share, and like what I've said to you today in this video, and do leave me your feedback. This is the last of my series of videos on fears. If you haven't seen the previous ones, please have a check them out as well, and let me know what you think. Thanks for listening, guys. Just to let you know, from now on, my YouTube videos will be on weekly, and they will come out every Thursday. So remember to subscribe and look out for those. Again, thanks so much for sharing this and enjoying these videos, and I'll talk to you again soon.